If you have ever visited a home in Scandinavia, you might have noticed something strange the moment you walked in. You open the front door, and suddenly you are stuck in a tiny space. Shoes everywhere, jackets hanging on every wall, maybe a bench, a shoe rack, sometimes even a second door before you reach the living room. At first glance, it can feel cramped, almost awkward. Why dedicate so much space to taking off your shoes? But here is the thing. What might seem like a weird design choice is actually one of the smartest features of Nordic homes. These entryways are carefully designed to deal with brutal winters, muddy seasons, and a culture that values comfort, cleanliness, and practicality. In fact, once you understand how they work, you might start wondering why homes in many other countries do not do the same thing. So today, we are diving into the genius of Nordic entryways, what makes them unique, why they exist, and how Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland each approach them a little differently. Let us step inside. In most Nordic homes, the entryway is not just a hallway, it is a transition zone. In Swedish, it is called the hall, in Danish entré, in Norwegian gang, and in Finnish etanen. The names differ slightly, but the idea is the same. This is the space where the outside world stops and the home begins. And that distinction matters a lot in Nordic countries, because outside is often cold, wet, snowy, sandy, or muddy. For much of the year, you are dealing with snow, slush, rain, or dirt being tracked in from forest streets or countryside roads. Without a proper entryway system, your living room would become a disaster zone in minutes. So Nordic homes treat the entryway like a buffer between nature and comfort. You step inside, close the door, and immediately deal with everything the outdoors brought in with you. Boots, coats, umbrellas, scarves, gloves. Only after that do you enter the rest of the house. It is simple, but incredibly effective. One of the most noticeable things in a Nordic entryway is the dedicated shoe area. In Scandinavia, wearing shoes inside the house is almost unheard of. People take them off at the door, and life is organized around being inside without outdoor shoes. Guests instinctively take them off. Children grow up doing it. No one even asks. Because of that, the entryway is carefully designed to handle a lot of footwear. You will often see shoe racks or shelves, boot trays to catch water and snow, cabinets for seasonal shoes, floor mats designed to absorb moisture. In winter, boots can be covered in snow and salt. In autumn, they might be muddy from forest walks. In spring, they are dripping from melting snow. Instead of dragging that mess through the house, it stays in the entryway. Many homes even have heated floors in this area, so wet shoes dry faster. It is a small design choice that massively reduces cleaning and keeps the rest of the home warm and comfortable. Another defining feature is the coat wall. Nordic weather changes constantly, and people often layer their clothing. That means coats, rain jackets, winter jackets, scarves, hats, gloves, sometimes several per person. So instead of hiding everything in closets, Nordic entryways often display them. You will see rows of hooks along the wall, sometimes at multiple heights. Adult jackets hang higher up. Children's coats hang lower down so kids can hang them themselves. This might look cluttered to someone used to minimalist interiors, but it is actually extremely practical. When you are rushing out the door during a snowstorm or rain shower, everything you need is right there. Grab coat, grab hat, grab gloves, done. No searching through closets. Almost every Nordic entryway has some form of bench or seating area. It might be a simple wooden bench, a padded seat with storage underneath, or a built-in unit along the wall. Why? Because putting on winter boots while standing is a nightmare. Nordic boots are often tall, heavy, and tightly fitted to keep out snow, so sitting down makes the process much easier. The bench also becomes a practical multi-tool, a place to remove shoes, storage underneath for boots, a surface for bags and backpacks, sometimes even hidden compartments. In small apartments, the bench is often designed with storage drawers or lift-up lids, so that simple bench is actually doing a lot of work. In many Nordic houses, especially older ones, you will encounter something unexpected. A second door. You enter the house, close the first door, And there is another one before the main hallway. This is essentially a small airlock. It helps keep cold air from rushing directly into the living spaces during winter. Temperatures in parts of Scandinavia can drop well below freezing, and opening the door directly into the living room would quickly let heat escape. The extra door keeps warm air inside and cold air contained in the entry area. It is a small architectural trick that improves energy efficiency and comfort. You will see this especially in detached houses and cabins in Sweden, Norway, and Finland. Nordic entryways are built to handle abuse. Think about what they face every day: snow, gravel, wet boots, road salt, sand, and mud. Because of that, the materials used here are different from the rest of the house. Common features include tile or stone floors, waterproof vinyl, heavy-duty floor mats, wall surfaces that are easy to clean. Light wooden floors, common in Scandinavian living rooms, usually stop at the entryway. Instead, designers prioritize durability and maintenance. This is one of those quiet examples of Nordic design philosophy: practicality first, beauty second. Although, interestingly, the entryways often end up looking beautiful anyway. So why did these entryways become such a standard feature in Nordic homes? The answer comes down to climate and lifestyle. First, climate. Scandinavia has long winters and unpredictable weather. Snow, rain, slush, and dirt are regular parts of daily life. Without a dedicated entry system, homes would constantly get dirty and wet. Second, culture. Nordic homes are strongly associated with hygge, coziness, and comfort. The inside of the home is meant to be warm, clean, and relaxing. Keeping outdoor mess contained helps protect that atmosphere. And third, lifestyle. People in Nordic countries spend a lot of time outdoors, hiking, skiing, cycling, and walking in forests. That means they are often returning home with muddy shoes or wet gear. The entryway is built to handle that reality. Although the overall idea is similar across the region, each Nordic country has its own variations. Let's look at a few interesting differences. Swedish homes often have very structured entryways. The hall is usually compact, but carefully organized with storage solutions. Built-in cabinets are common, and Swedish design often focuses on maximizing small spaces, especially in apartments. You will often see slim shoe cabinets, wall hooks arranged neatly, minimalistic benches, mirrors to reflect light in narrow halls. Sweden's famous design culture also shows up here. Even functional items such as shoe racks and coat hooks are often stylish and well-designed. In Norway, entryways tend to reflect the country's outdoor lifestyle. Many homes have larger entry spaces, often with a mudroom-style area. This is especially common in houses outside cities, because Norwegians frequently return home with ski gear, hiking boots, or wet rain jackets. Entryways often include drying space, large boot trays, and storage for outdoor equipment. Cabins known as hytter often have particularly rugged entry zones to handle snowy gear. Danish entryways are often smaller because of urban housing and apartments. They are typically very design-focused, fitting smoothly into the overall look of the home. Danish interiors emphasize clean lines and visual harmony, so the entryway is often integrated into the aesthetic of the home. You will frequently see designer coat hooks, built-in benches, light colors to brighten small spaces, clever hidden storage. Even though the space might be small, it still serves the same functional purpose. Finland's harsh winters shape its entryway design. Many Finnish homes include very practical features for snow and freezing temperatures. Deep boot trays, heated floors for drying, spacious coat areas for heavy winter clothing. Finnish homes may also have a stronger separation between the entryway and the rest of the house, helping keep warmth inside. Given Finland's long, snowy seasons, this makes perfect sense. In Iceland, the entryway often functions as a defense against extreme weather. Strong winds, rain, and volcanic dust can make the outdoors messy. Homes sometimes include enclosed porch areas or wind-protected entrances before the main door. These spaces help prevent cold gusts from entering the house, and they give people room to deal with wet clothing. Just like the rest of Icelandic architecture, the design is shaped by the island's dramatic environment. Once you understand Nordic entryways, it becomes clear they are not weird at all. They are an incredibly logical solution. Instead of pretending the outside world does not exist, Nordic homes plan for it. They create a transition space where dirt, Snow and clutter can stop before reaching the living room, and the benefits are huge. Cleaner homes, less daily cleaning, better energy efficiency, more organized storage, a smoother routine when leaving or arriving home. It is one of those design ideas that seems obvious once you see it. Yet in many homes around the world, people walk straight from the front door into the living room with muddy shoes and wet jackets. Nordic homes solved that problem generations ago. At first glance, the Nordic entryway might look cramped or cluttered, but in reality, it is a brilliantly engineered space. Every element has a purpose. The shoe racks stop dirt. The coat hooks handle layers. The bench makes winter gear manageable. The durable floors survive the weather. The second door keeps warmth inside. Together, they form a simple system that makes everyday life easier. It is a perfect example of what Scandinavian design does best, turning ordinary routines into thoughtful, practical solutions. So the next time you step into a Nordic home and find yourself in that weird little hallway, remember, you are not just standing in an entryway, you are standing in one of the smartest pieces of home design in the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, hit like and subscribe for more. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.